Good day and welcome to Mayor King's TV News. I am Matu Ogbe-Ijoh, your anchor for today's broadcast. Let's take a look at the top stories. Delta community demands creation of 5 additional electoral wards in Warri South amidst a Shakiri protest. Insecurity worsens in Delta as Fulani herdsmen abduct developer in Isele-Azagba. Fubara faces fresh crisis in Rivers. U.S. court orders FBI and DEA to release confidential investigation on Tinubu. Dami Cranes 5 to drop same day as Davido's album. Aviation workers to resume strike over agreement breaches. China urges U.S. to completely cancel tariffs. Newcastle Manchester United result makes English football history unseen since 1931. Now the news in details. The Ogbe-Ijoh community of Warri South local government area of Delta State has called for creation of 5 additional homogenous electoral wards in their region. They have also pledged to oppose any attempts by individuals or groups or any other ethnicities to interfere with the Independent National Electoral Commission's INEC proposed delineation of wards and polling units in their territory. During a press conference held in Warri on Friday, the Ogbe-Ijoh people responded to protests by some Shakiri groups opposing INEC's ongoing efforts in Warri South. While commending INEC, the Ogbe-Ijoh community emphasized their indigenous status in Warri South and highlighted their history of electoral, which the current INEC exercise aims to address in accordance with the Supreme Court ruling from December 2, 2022. The community noted that since INEC released its fieldwork report on April 4, 2025, regarding the proposed delineation of electoral wards and polling units in the Warri Federal Constituency, they have observed protests by the Shakiris and their allies in various media outlets. This protest claimed that the Ogbe-Ijoh people are not part of the Warri South. However, the community further explained that the issue of their inclusion in the Warri South have been resolved during the several INEC stakeholders meetings. These meetings, supported by intelligence reports and legal documents affirmed by the Ogbe-Ijoh community, are an integral part of the local government. Despite the recent claims of tackling insecurity, Delta State remains under the grip of violence and fear, as fresh reports confirm the abduction of a man by suspected Fulani herdsmen at a construction site in Isele-Azagba, Aniocha North local government area. The incident occurred around 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, highlighting the persistent threat posed by armed groups operating across the state. Comrade Victor Ojei, popularly known as Wrong Box and lead activist of the Young Nigerian Rights Organization, has sharply criticized both the Delta State government and the Nigerian police force for what it described as premature celebrations over perceived breakthroughs in the fight against insecurity. Meanwhile, he cautioned authorities against and urged for a more coordinated, sustained security strategy. According to Ojei, the kidnapping is not an isolated incident, but a reflection of the broader unresolved security failures in rural and semi-urban areas across Delta State. The activists called on residents to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities, adding that his organization remains open to receiving community-level security information. It has been reported that the suspended Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, is facing renewed hostility as tensions escalate in the state's ongoing political crisis. In a viral video making waves on social media on Saturday, a group of unidentified youths were captured, vandalizing a massive roadside billboard featuring Fubara and his close ally Chijioke Nwowo, the former chairman of Ogbe-Ijoh local government area. The destruction took place in the broad daylight, appeared coordinated. The billboard, prominently positioned by a major road, was torn apart while the perpetrators gave verbal instructions and exchanged pleasantries. The latest provocation is widely seen as part of the ongoing power struggle between Governor Fubara and political mentor Wike, now the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. The rift between these two have plunged Rivers State into a sustained period of political turbulence, with supporters on both sides becoming increasingly emboldened. Furthermore, the ex-warlord leader and influential figure in the Niger Delta region, Ogbe-Ijoh Polo, popularly known as Tom Polo, expressed confidence that the suspended governor of Rivers State, Similayo Fubara, will be reinstated. The United States District Court for the District of Columbia has ordered that the confidential information about the Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu related to a purported federal investigation in the 1990s be made public. The order, issued on Tuesday by Judge Barry Orwell, demands that the top U.S. law enforcement agencies release documents related to their investigation of Tinubu. The decision follows a lawsuit filed in June 2023 by American citizen Aaron Greenspan under the Freedom of Information Act (FOIA). Greenspan had sued multiple U.S. agencies, including the FBI, CIA, IRS, DEA, and the U.S. State Department, accusing them of failing to release documents concerning the investigation into Tinubu's alleged involvement in drug trafficking during the 1990s. It was further disclosed that the court document filed by Greenspan included an affidavit detailing an investigation into Agbele's involvement in a heroin trafficking ring, which allegedly involved Tinubu's funds. The affidavit revealed that Agbele, who was arrested during a DEA operation, had cooperated with authorities and provided information linking Tinubu to the drug trade. Further investigation led to the identification of bank accounts controlled by Tinubu, which were suspected of being involved in money laundering related to drug trafficking operation. Now on the entertainment news. Popular Nigerian singer Dami Crane has strategically chosen Sunday to build anticipation for his highly anticipated new album. Notably, the singer has chosen not only the same title for his album 5 as Davido's, but also the exact release date of 18th April, adding a surprising tweet to the release. Interestingly, like Davido, 5 is also Dami Crane's 5th album. Although Dami Crane's actions have sparked curiosity and concerns, it remained also surprising for those in tune with his recent rift with a 4-time Grammy nominee. Recalling that their on and off online spat heated up in October 2023 when Dami Crane alleged that Davido's owed him money for their successful collaboration on their 2017 song Pere. This song was a significant milestone in their relationship, and the financial dispute surrounding it has been a central point of contention. Although Davido has revealed the reason for the purpose and message behind the album 5, Dami Crane's decision to do the same connotes no message, except that he intends to drive further his rift with the singer. Industry insiders say Dami Crane will likely benefit from the strategic move, as some Davido fans may mistake the album for his. Thereby, he earns listenership and pay by misleading the fans. Now on the business news. 3 major aviation unions have issued a sting warning to the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, threatening to resume previously suspended strike over the agency's alleged failure to keep to a bargaining agreement signed earlier this year. In a letter jointly signed by the National Union of Air Transport Employees, the Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals, and the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service Technical and Recreational Services Employees, the unions expressed deep disappointment in NIMET management, accusing it of breaching the terms of agreement reached on January 28, 2025. At the heart of the union's grievances is what they describe as the management's failure to fulfill its commitment to negotiate and implement an allowance before the end of February 2025. Now on the foreign news. Chinese officials are calling on US President Donald Trump to completely cancel its so-called reciprocal tariffs as the trade war between the world's two biggest economies grinds on. Recalling that last week Trump announced a 90-day pause on a host of global tariffs he has planned, but increased levies on Chinese imports to 145%. The Trump administration seemed ready to offer concession on Friday by announcing that some electrical products, including those produced in China, will be exempted, noting that some exemptions will only be temporary. Meanwhile, the responses inject uncertainty into the just announced tariff exemptions for technology products such as smartphones, computers, and semiconductors. Now on the sports news. The news comes after the result of yesterday was released as Newcastle beat Manchester United 4-1. It was recorded that Newcastle United are officially history makers as their performance was reckoned all the way back to 1931 to find a Newcastle squad that accomplished what these men of 2024 to 2025 did on Sunday. Coupled with a 2-0 Newcastle win on December 30th, 2024, it marks the first time Newcastle did the league double over United since 1931. Sunday's match was acknowledged second half domination. Now a recap on our headlines. Delta community demands creation of 5 additional electoral wards in Warri South amidst a security protest. Insecurity worsens in Delta as Fulani herdsmen abduct developer in Isele-Azagba. Fubara faces fresh crisis in Rivers State. US court orders FBI and DEA to release confidential investigation on Tinubu. Dami Cranes 5 to drop same day as Davido's album. Aviation workers to resume strike over agreement breaches. China urges US to completely cancel tariffs. Newcastle Manchester United result makes English football history unseen since 1931. That's the news as edited by Timiola Emanuela. I am Matsu Okbamitorishe. Thanks for watching.